25 days until the Commanders game. Welcome aboard. And today was joint practice day for the Eagles and the Patriots. And by the way, what we're going to do is we're going to take an objective view, maybe not so objective, from people that were actually there watching the scrimmage and giving their assessment after. By the way, even the quarterback said 7-on-7 was tough on me. The run game showed up, which was great. Okay? The run game showed up. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. Thank you very much. AJ was incredible today. Guy had 6 catches. They destroyed that secondary. Guy had 3 catches of over 20 yards. That guy was playing like it was a football game. I mean, you can't dispute what he did. Thank God he dropped that pass against Quinyon Mitchell in the corner. He had beat his ass in the corner, too. I love Eagle fans going over to my X account going, lockdown. That was a lockdown. He dropped it. How insane is that? And by the way, you see what you want to see. The passing game was terrible. The run game showed up. The Eagles secondary did not show up. Now, what's going to be cool and what you're going to get today is this. Sills, it's the joint practice. Sills, the first exhibition game. I guess none of that shit matters, right? Okay, then why do it? Good day to you too, Swab. Thanks for starting the program off. How you doing? By the way, we're going to get an objective look at this through the eyes of somebody that was there. Okay? And get this, I didn't write this. I didn't write it. Hey, don't get mad at what we're going to say, and I know many of you will, but I'm going to go by what others said that were actually there and watching the practice. Sills, in the run game, how was Jurgens and Dickerson looked? I don't know. Oh, here's another guy that I couldn't wait for today. Vic Fangio, prior to the practice in the joint practice today, all that BS Prince was posting about Jahad Campbell played because it was an injury issue. Verbatim, quote, I wanted to get Campbell more reps. I felt he needed them because they were taken because Campbell came back. And I was right. He needed more reps. Quote, end of quote. So you could sit here and post all your BS and all the things that you think you hear and see. Thank God for Vic Fangio. Every single time, that guy validates every single thing that I say. Every time I say something, he validates it. He felt Campbell needed more reps. That's why he started him. Because of a injury. That's what this guy believed. And he also added to that, I felt he needed reps, and I was right. Holy cow. I mean, let me say, what's this? That's a lie. Well, guess what? Vic Fangio's presser is there on Eagles.com. Just go listen to it. Okay? There's a big difference. Dude, I told you the reason he played. He needed the reps. You said he played because of injury. Not a factor. Never brought it up. Oh my God. Whatever, guy. I never said that on why he played. Anyway, so let's do something here. And let's get to somebody. Let me get this idiot off my page. Not you, Leo. Leon, we're good. So let me get over here and let me use Elliott Shore Parks. And let's go here. And I wasn't there. He was. And this is the ultimate egg layer for the Eagles and for WIP. He's the ultimate glazed donut in the history of the Eagles. So he's always going to give you an Eagle bird's eye view and never really going to go in the negative direction because he's a mouthpiece for the organization. Hey, and from now on, anybody, when we're talking about something like this, that is just coming at me and not talking about actually what happened today, you will not be called upon like you were in third grade. And if you're going to get my attention, you will pay for it. So let's get into what ESP said. Okay, here we go. Day one was everything joint practices are supposed to be. Intense, lots of competitive reps. That's, you know what? And to be fair, that's what this really is. This is about individual reps, more so than team concept, because a lot of the stuff is scripted, okay? So know that. What was surprising was how the Eagle defensive secondary struggled. Obviously, all these things are true. There is no hitting of the quarterback. Again, it's controlled scrimmage. No game planning, and it's individual matchups, like I just said. But it was a bit shocking how well the Patriots passed the ball against the Eagles. A.J. Brown had 6 catches, including 3 over 20 yards. One was a down the sideline completion for probably 30-plus yards. Romeo Doubs destroyed Cooper DeJean in a one-on-one. I saw that. Also had a good day, including a deep pass down the left sideline over Woolen, who had a rough day. Tariq Woolen was terrible today. Overall, Drake May, 21 of 25, as a sign of just how much success he had versus the secondary. Now, in context, it's a controlled scrimmage. Put that all in context, okay? All right. On offense, the most encouraging part was the Eagles running the ball. Great to hear this. Really well. That's great. You're going to need it. They created some huge holes in a real game, likely had some big gains. Considering how much the run game struggled last year, it was a big positive how good the run game looked versus the Patriots. That's a great sign. That's something you're going to have to lean on again. The passing game was not as good. They did have 2 big gains, one to Elijah Moore on a deep pass and one to Shipley on a wheel route. Outside of that, however, they didn't get much going without Devontae Smith doing team reps. Jalen Hurts had 3 picks, all in 7-on-7, which is a very high number for him. This guy had 3 interceptions in 7-on-7 that was designed for the passing game. This practice was decided at the end, and the biggest reps of the day. Patriots offense drove the ball into the Eagles' red zone, kicking a field goal. The Eagle offense had a tough time moving the ball and didn't get a field goal. Observations of ESP, Patriots had a better day than what the Eagles did. End of story. And that's a guy who was there. By the way, that's not me. I wasn't there. That's a guy who is an Eagle mouthpiece, who said that, once again, the passing game struggled. A common theme. Devontae wasn't there. Well, you better make sure you have all your aces out there, because if you don't, you're not going to do very much unless that run game comes back. End of story. That's end of story. You believe Hurts has the arm talent to excel in the passing system? I don't see that, but I hope you're correct. Okay. Once again, read it, and this is like being objective. I'm using somebody else's lens and not my lens. And a guy who's a homer basically said we ran the ball well, which is really what you want to hear. What you don't want to hear is that Drake May took the Eagles secondary to the woodshed. And I know, according to Eagle fans, the scrimmage doesn't matter and the exhibition game against the Ravens doesn't matter, correct? None of it matters. None of it matters. It's just none of it matters, right? Okay, well, guess what? Test 2, you failed. Now, I'll take that back. You didn't fail because the run game showed up. The run game showed up. So it's not a fail. And once again, Q didn't lock down A.J. Brown. He dropped the football. A.J. Brown went out there. By the way, I loved his post-press conference too. I listened to it. He had nothing but love for everyone. Almost all the Eagle players went up to him except Hurts after the scrimmage, and they were all giving high fives. The only guy that didn't show up was Hurts. So, there you go. Test 2, a D. A C, because the run game showed. And by the way, these are people that were there. I'm going to go and even go over what Jalen said today. How about this? You may not believe what I say, but surely you believe what Vic Fangio says and what Jalen Hurts and some of the players are saying. No? Or is it you want to hear what you want to hear? Hey, I'm in an echo chamber today. I wasn't there. I'm just commenting on what, again, on what was seen today. An F game and a C scrimmage. All right. And you're 25 days away from the start of the season. Learning a new offense. So how about this? Let's go to what Jalen said. Let's go to what Hurts said today. Here's Jalen. Ran the ball well. 7-on-7 was rough for me and rough on me. 3 picks in the football game. Still building on stuff. We haven't really put all of it in yet. It's a new system. We're learning. Working on the outside stretch runs. We all have to be on the same page. We need more reps if we're going to be good. A lot of love for AJ. Okay, I believe that. When asked about Mekhi Lemon, challenging not to be out there. That's an understatement. That's an understatement. The most encouraging thing about today is clearly they felt good about the run game. And if you're going to take any positives out of this, that is the only one. Your pass game is a year away from being competitive. Especially without Devontae Smith. So it looks like the Saints, dealing with rough injuries, lost their DT for the year. Jordan Tyson for 2 months, and now Kamara. Yes. Okay? So again, sounds like we're getting the rough kinks out of the preseason, that more reps is needed with all the starters on the field. I agree with that, SS. I do. Lemon Juice spent the morning rubbing his tender hammy. Holy cow. This has to be a severe injury. Had to have been a severe injury for him to be out this long. I mean, really. Once again, Eagles not telling you about his injuries because either that or he's soft. Pick one. Either you're hurt more than what they initially reported, like Lane Johnson last year, or this guy's soft. Pick one. Sills, do you know where Jalen Hurts threw the picks? Nope. If they were outside or deep or what would be bad, comfortable there over the middle is less than of an issue because that's new to him. Listen what Bob Brown just said. A quarterback in year 7 throwing across the middle of the field is new to him. That doesn't even make sense to me. In the NFL, 7 years in the NFL, throwing over the middle is new to him. Damn, Bob. Really? We're year 7, and that's new to him. I mean, how can that be new to him in year 7? How's that possible? Dominated at the point of attack again. You were owned in your secondary. Supposedly the strength of your team. May carved you like you were an evening steak. The guy barely had the ball hit the ground. Dominated. AJ had 3 catches of over 20 yards in the game. Tariq Woolen looked like the Tariq Woolen they let walk in Seattle. Seals, I heard the D front did good against Drake, was sacked a few times in those completions. What do you hear about? Again, it's a controlled scrimmage. Absolutely. What about the 3 picks that Hurts threw in 7-on-7? 7-on-7 is created for the quarterback. How fully engaged do defenders get with blocks and joint practices? Here's the deal. You're not going to go low, And when you get near the quarterback, you're told to pull off. So, again, they're quality reps, but not really to the ground. Okay? So you got to remember that. And you got to put that in context. Seals, I'm not upset and concerned like other Eagle fans. I want Jalen and the offense to go through adversity and roadblocks now instead of mid-season. Totally good. Who cares about picks? Let them have freedom to let it go in practice. That's the whole point. You need to fail to grow. Okay? Okay. Not a bad take. If Hurts is going to be throwing more passes across the middle, okay? Seals, did you hear Vic's comments about Grenard? We're going to get to all that. What, did Howie sign another lemon? Are there now 2 lemons in Eagle camp? Holy shit. Gonzo wasn't even playing. Give me a break. That Devontae didn't play. Mekhi hasn't practiced for a week. This offense would have been much different with all those guys healthy. This is called football, guys. Injuries are part of availability. Holy cow. Another excuse machine. That's 2 tests you've taken. And you're going to come up with excuses? My fear all along, we need defense to be stellar. Got people up there, too, like Dan Shaughnessy. Telling me how good he thought the Patriots looked. Let's see here. Let's go to somebody other than Prince and other than Amreas. Vic did say he liked Nolan and Jalix. He did say that. I heard him, and I heard him say it. Seals, the Eagles secondary has been playing against trash. This was good for them to get beat a little. Hey, those are two good football teams. Those are two good teams. They're good too. Okay? They're good. They were in the Super Bowl. This is a fair statement. You can't blame Mannion this time. This is just one-on-one competition when you get into practices and joint practices like this. Okay? Let's see. I don't know why you're talking shit because the Niners have like 20 players injured. Who's talking about the 49ers? Let's see here. I'd rather Hurts get the fear out throwing over the middle in practice. Not a bad take. Here. The problem with non-Eagle fans like Sills is that they think they know our team better than actual Eagle fans. Bro, you may like your Eagle team more than me. You have no idea about how a football team is run or how a football team practices or how a football team takes joint practices. I've been in joint practices. So to sit there and say that, that's a fan guy talking there, not an actual football person. What does your love for your team have to do with truth? Zero. It has nothing to do with truth, the love for your team. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Just because you love your team, fanboy, doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. Easy's now new name is Fanboy. I don't want to know about each interaction that AJ has with his former team. That ship has already sailed. Let it go. Dude, how do you let something go? Did you see the media people today that were around the scrum for him? It's a story, guy. This is what I do. I'm okay with the offense not being so great. I knew it was going to take time. My concern, Kim, so you knew it was going to take time. The question's going to be, how much time? Last year, it never got on track. How much time this year, Kim, is it going to take for that offense to get on track? Last year, you had 18 weeks, right? You had 18 weeks. It never got on track. So what's it going to be this year? 6 weeks? 7 weeks? I don't know, really. I mean, August 19th? I don't know. Your boy Quinion got smoked by Demarcus Robinson. It happens. Hey, listen. Drake May in the passing game, they torched that secondary. Guy was 21 of 25. AJ had 6 catches, 3 of them for over 20 yards. Cooper DeJean got turned around like a top out there. I don't even know who that was. Who turned him around like that? I even posted the video. It was insane. Here's what And get this, ESP just said Jalen Hurts had a C- today. 3 picks, 19 to 27. According to Mr. Homer, the guy got a C- today. Hey, I wasn't there. I didn't post that. Somebody else did. And somebody that works for the flagship station. C-. Woo! Okay. Wow. Oh, my God. Sills, I need Hurts to get the mistakes out now at the beginning of the season. You're correct. Patience is going to be a key. Something I don't believe your organization has. But you're right. More interceptions, more risk, higher the reward. No risk it, no biscuit. Absolutely, SS. Absolutely true. And look at this. Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP. That ain't helping you today, kid. Looks like one team came to play in the Eagle State. No, I don't. That's not what people are saying. They say they had a pretty good day in the run game. That's okay. You're going to need that. Top takeaway from camp is, will the Eagles' first-round pick be high enough to pair with Patriots first to get Arch Manning? We're not there, dude. That's not what this is today. The fact that the trenches won the day for the Sills, there's a little win today, and Miss Elliott had an absolute stinker. Oh, yeah, I forgot the guy. Jake Weathervane Elliott. Is the weather blowing? Is it going to be cold? Holy shit, I'm starting to get palsy. Holy cow. My God. Is it really? Wait, my foot's shaking. I can't have any wind. Holy cow. Is it really? It's windy out here. Sunny, but it's windy. Dan, are you drinking still? Only when your mom comes over. Let's see here. Sills, so were the Eagles showing their playbook with a C- performance? So do you think the Patriots were showing their playbook too? Sills, I love my birds, but it pisses me off that other Eagle fans expect us to be so perfect and not be criticized. Shit happens. And by the way, I said the most encouraging thing that you can hear from that practice today was that the run game showed up. That's encouraging. And that Jalix Hunt showed up. And 58's going to be a problem. I heard people commenting on that. That's a good thing, dude. That's a good sign. Your run game showed up. Even the Patriot guys were saying they ran the ball better on us than we thought. That's great news. Because if the run game shows up, the pass game will follow. You're never going to be led by a passing offense, ever, in Jalen Hurts' career. It's going to be led by the run game. Until you idiots, not all, understand that, you're never going to understand what they're trying to accomplish. If that run game shows up again, everything will fall in place. And hearing that is a good thing. That is the most encouraging thing out of that practice today, is that you're hearing both sides make comment that the run game showed up. Encouraging. Crosswind Jake was struggling today with kicking. This guy's terrible. And with a football team that's a defensive-minded team, you can't have a crappy kicker. You can't have that. Just think, if we get an Eagles versus Patriots Super Bowl, that would be the most watched Super Bowl. I think if you get a Dallas Cowboys Eagles NFC Championship game, that right there is going to be a pretty good one too. Let's see. Just think, if we get an Eagle versus Patriots Super Bowl, that'd be the most watched. Yes. Look at these people make this shit up. Dan, do you think Morgan & Morgan would be pleased to hear you tell people to kill themselves with their brand? What a made-up thing. Are you at it? This is sports talk, guy. When have you ever heard me say that? What a liar. People will make things up just to make shit up to try to stop me. Thank God Morgan & Morgan's known me for 30 years. And not idiots like that. Seals, if a player like AJ betrayed your team like he did, how come, wait a second, Jason, how come every single Eagle guy, but Hurts, went up and said hi? Even Big Dom met him. If he was such a cancer, why are all the Eagle players showing love? If that guy was a cancer, it doesn't make sense. Super Bowl year, Eagles run started 4 yards downfield. Last season started 3 years behind the line. Need to run game. Yes. The players don't see that AJ betrayed them, but the fans certainly see it. Well, because of what I told you. You guys turned on him, and you would turn on him. And you did. You turned on a guy who's one of the greatest players in franchise history. You turned on him. Okay? ESP is far from an Eagle glazer. He also called an incomplete pass a catch. Dude, that guy is an Eagle glazer. AJ didn't betray the Eagles. He left because of the passing game. Y'all turned on him for Hurts and still can't see it. All Eagle teammates agree. No doubt. All the teammates love the guy. The only people that hate AJ Brown are you. Nobody hates him but you. But you. Sills, that's definitely encouraging. Our run game that's encouraging. That is a really great sign. Okay? Sills, wait till Philly 500 come on and starts bashing AJ. What are you going to bash him for? His success in Philly? Actually, Hurts is the only one that hasn't said hi to him. Sills, the offense needs to have the kinks out by week 8. Nice to hear the run game went well today. You are correct. The run will set up the pass. I heard the tight end play was bad today. Concerns me. Yeah. John McMullen has been reporting that on Birds 365 since camp began, really. Okay? Yes. 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 That is an enormous thing to hear the run game showed up. I thought that was the most encouraging thing out of camp today. And 58's going to be a problem. Hello, Sills. The Eagles can love AJ still, and they are stupid for it. We, the fans, saw his betrayal, and we had no business playing a full game versus the 49ers. Bro, okay, bad game for him. Bad moment. The guy had a legendary career for you. You're indicting him over the Niner game? Okay. Not uncommon. Sills, at the end of the day, AJ's gone. Is gone. Bless the dude. I focus my energy on if we can face adversity this year and continue to win. By the way, you know what else was on display, Donnell? Your wide receiving core without Devontae Smith, he's not very good. It struggled today. Everyone was glazing the 1 versus 1s until the 7-on-7. And the 1 versus 11s, it died down quick. Dude. Bro purposely created a rift with the Eagles to get out and to be a Patriot. He wanted that his whole life and didn't care about anything else. And that's why he was 50-18, 2 NFC titles and a Super Bowl ring. Got it. And 4th in catching yards in his time in Philly. What a horrible career. Sills, what are the terms of the contract with Gennard? Is there an out? If Hunt and Nolan is loved by Vic, what does that mean if Gennard can't get it going? We're going to talk about that here in a minute. We're going to go into the next one. Listen, A.J. Brown showed you what you're going to miss today. The other guy on the other side of Devontae Smith. You're going to miss that. You're going to miss it. And by the end of the year, you'll regret having moved off of that guy. And get this, that's a storyline this year. Can Hurts win without AJ? And can AJ improve the Patriot passing game? Those are storylines. Big Marsh. Ain't nobody turned on AJ. He got butthurt because his side piece gave the homie some, and he was a laughingstock. You have to stop these narratives, Sil. And one more time, screw that loafer. Bro, all of that is not true. Nobody has any angst on it. You know why? When Marshall, thanks for posting it though, Marsh, I appreciate you. You know why you know this is a bullshit post? Not one teammate has ever talked shit on him, or not one teammate didn't show love for him today, including Big Dom. Nobody. Everybody had massive love for him. This is a stupid narrative that was made up by Marshall. It's not true. What about on the field? Worry about football. What Marshall just posted, none of this is true. Because if it was true, half the team would not have gone up to him. Almost the entire football team, according to multiple reports, all went up to him and were giving him nothing but love and hugs. The only guy that did it was Hurts. See here. Sills, with how dominant AJ was today, do you think he sandbagged last year? Dude, sandbagged last year. Your passing game without Devontae was terrible today. You think it's going to be better? You really think at 26 you're going to have a better passing attack? Oh, by the way, this really had nothing to do with Mannion. These joint practices are more one-on-one stuff, like running one-on-one drills. So wait, here's another guy. You'll have to pay me for my attention. Come on, we can't be this delusional, Sills. You're just denying reality to spin the... I'll read it again. Elliott Shore-Parks, day one, was everything a joint practice is supposed to be. Intense, a lot of competitive reps. Obviously, all things are true. There's no hitting the quarterback, no game planning, etc. But it was a bit shocking in how well the Patriots threw the ball against the Eagles. A.J. Brown had 6 catches, including 3 for over 20 yards. One was down the sideline for probably 30-plus yards. Dobbs also had a great day. Spun Cooper DeJean around. Woolen did not have a good day. Overall, May was 21 of 25. On offense, most encouraging part was that the run game showed up. Great. Super important. The passing game wasn't as good. They did have 2 big gains, one to Elijah Moore on the deep pass and the other one to Will Shipley in a wheel route. Outside of that, however, didn't get much going, especially without Devontae doing team reps. Jalen had 3 interceptions, all in 7-on-7, which is a very high number for him. The practice was decided really by the end of the practice. The Patriots drove the ball into the red zone on the Eagles. The Eagles offense had a tough time moving the chains against the Patriots defense and didn't get a field goal. That's one of the side people that they're covering the team. What narrative? What narrative? That's a sideline reporter. What narrative? What narrative? What narrative? It's beyond facts they got rid of Reddick for that and for calling out the front office on the DC change and then gave AJ more money to shut up. It's obvious true. Okay. Let's see here. I'm not going there with that guy. You're on the new list too. Rumor has it Elliott Shore-Parks was the side piece that got passed around. Oh, now you're going after the messenger. Pretty standard. I mean, really. This is spins. I'm reading you what another man said. How am I spinning it? I said your run game showed up, which was encouraging. And I read what a reporter saw. And get this, it's an August practice. So here's Tim. The first exhibition game didn't matter either. And the first scrimmage versus the Patriots, it doesn't matter. Let's see here. I mean, this is classic. I hope we miss AJ so we go and get Cam Coleman like I've been saying all offseason. We need another game changer. So many teams nowadays have 2 number ones. With Hurts limitations, we definitely need 2 number ones. Hold on. Sills left our MVP quarterback to pad his stats. What did that MVP quarterback have today? Let me see. Oh, yeah. What was he? 19 of 27? Even the guy who covers the team gave him a C-. Woo! Must have lit it up in the secondary. These men acting like little boy Sills. Don't critique their sorry ass. Offense has been the league, in the bottom of the league, 2 years in a row. Senor, what they're not hearing, though, that I'll repeat, the most encouraging thing today is that what? Your run game showed up. Your run game showed up. Okay? That is important. Okay? You haven't seen that AJ because it matters who's throwing him the ball. Why can't you all get that and just accept it? Correct. They won't accept that. You missed my suit? No, I read it. What are you talking about? I read this thing. Hey, so Marsh wants me to do it again. Ain't no narrative. That answers the... Okay, my bad, bro. I apologize. Ain't no narrative. That answered the question on why we got rid of Reddick, because the answers pop up. You refuse to accept them. AJ had a problem with Hurts. Reddick, that's so stupid. This guy thinks because he was having sex with somebody on this... Man, holy shit. Let me hook you up on something, dog. When you're an elite athlete like that, a piece of ass means nothing at the end of the day because it's a piece of ass. Kidding me? Over me go to the Hall of Fame? Yeah. Next. That's, you know what I hear what a football player thinks when it comes to women? Next. Let's have a real convo, unlike these Eagle bias fans. How much can you put on Manning? Nothing really in this practice, in these controlled practices and scrimmages. Okay? Really. This is more about one-on-one competition when you're doing these one-on-ones like this. How much can we put on Hurts? Listen, I happen to agree with a lot of people in here saying that you want to get this shit out of the way now. And I'm not saying that that's not important. I think he should. Apparently, it means a lot to tender AJ. Again, that's a phony-ass narrative. It's a phony-ass narrative. It's like untrue. Seals, I actually love this for Hurts. People say he was carried for so long. So now Jalen can go out and showcase if he can carry a team like he did in 22. Yeah. AJ has a mental problem. Are you just figuring that out now? That he's emotional? I told you since he got here. Seals, I love when fans bring up we didn't have Devontae. Well, the Patriots didn't have Gonzo. Hey, it's an excuse machine in here today. And by all accounts, the most important thing reared its head for the Eagles, the run game. The run game showed up. That's great. That's fabulous. What more do you want me to say? The pass game stunk as usual, and the run game showed up. What's been under the Jalen Hurts era the whole time? The run game showed up. The pass game has never shown up. Gee, welcome to reality. What did you think you were going to do? Dress a pig up? Hey, dude, he's not a great quarterback throwing the ball in any system. Actually, in less of a system, which is RPO, he's better than more in a confined system, I think. And that's an opinion. Get this. What he's been for 5 years starting as a starting quarterback from the pocket has been bottom 10. End of story. End of story. And when the run game shows up, great. That will be able to help him like it has his entire career. You're missing the most important part of this discussion. Your run game showed up. Your pass game will never show up. And it will be situational when it does. Right now, again, This is the second straight test. It's failed. Your young Eagles on Saturday were terrible in the passing game. And today, in a controlled scrimmage without the best corner, they got taken to the woodshed. So, okay. What else do you want to hear? I'm talking Eagle football. I mean, guys, what are you missing? This is who you are. Hey, without our two top receivers, your quarterback can't carry water, let alone a team. Can't win being predictable. This is another encouraging thing. Yes, Hollywood Brown is showing up. That's another thing. Yes. Keep what energy? Telling you what happened and what others saw today? Ray, I wasn't there. I'm only commenting on what people are saying, what they saw. Why are you my energy? The Eagles are going to need more than a run game on the Cowboys, or it's going to be a straight sweep. Hang on here. I would rather have a running attack that can run people over than a passing attack. Your passing attack versus a top flight run game, I'll take a top flight run game over a top flight passing game any day. Any day. And any day. Any day. Seals, another factoid not everyone is mentioning. Darius Cooper had a deep reception from Hurts, but again, need to keep getting better. Correct. As a matter of fact, I think Hurts even said that. We just have to keep working on getting on the same page. We're not quite there yet. Okay? A.J. Brown said he has not talked with the Eagle quarterback, Jalen Hurts, since the trade. When asked if he had talked with him this week, he said maybe if their paths cross on the field. I know. Everybody else went up to him except the quarterback. Obviously, there's a complete issue between the two. AJ didn't want to play with him. You have the Cowboys winning the division based on the passing game. No, I had the Cowboys winning the division based on them getting better talent on defense, but they've got to go out and prove it. I've told you that 17 times. You're rage baiting over rate? Bro, I'm not going to read this thing again from somebody else. Rage baiting what? What somebody saw? My God. I'm reading verbatim what somebody saw at practice. I wasn't there. And this guy says I'm rage baiting based off of what somebody saw who covers the team for the flagship station of the Eagles. And he's telling me that, what, I'm making that up? So get this. Here's a guy who thinks I just made ESP's comments up. Here's another one that thinks I made that up. I mean, you got to be kidding me, right? I'm making this up. Look at this. These are people that don't want to hear the truth. Wow. Jalenites, you guys are disgusting. You talk about players like they're your girlfriend. Man, I've never seen anything like it. It's quite man card revoking, actually, to watch some of these guys. If you talk what someone else says and you give an opinion of what someone saw, that's me rage baiting. So ESP's rage baiting? You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Sills, if we have a great run game, yes, and a great defense, correct. Hurts just needs to do yes. Here, get this, dude. SS. That's the 2024 recipe for a Super Bowl. Is it not? Sills, if we have a great run game and a great defense, Hurts has to be good and situationally. That's right. That helps your third down, your third and short, all of that. Absolutely true. That's your recipe for 24. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on. What was this? You're just refusing to read it all because he pointed out those 3 interceptions really wasn't on Hurts. Of course not. Hey, and the 49er game wasn't on him either, right? Right-ish? It was on KP, right? I'm sorry for laughing at some of you, but I can't help it. Yeah, it's funny how Sills treats Herbert and Allen like his boyfriend, but somehow doesn't understand fandom. I don't like Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. I think they're exceptional talents. I don't give a shit about either guy. I talk about people's talent. Are you good? Great. Not good. Do you stink? End of story. There's no gray area. What do you think? I care? I happen to know Justin Herbert very well. And I think the kid's a really good talent. How many people in here think I know Justin Herbert very well? How many people think that? Just curious. And that I talk to him a lot. Sills, what's worse? The Eagles having an 8-9 record, but Hurts throws for 3,500 yards and 5 touchdowns, 8 rushing, and we go 12-6, but Hurts has 3,000 yards and 22. I think winning. Let me see here. This guy says I don't. Let's see here. Big Sills. Justin Herbert. Should I put a text up? Nah. Herbert and Dan Sileo. Let's see here. This was at a dinner that we had. Let me see if I can find that picture. Justin Herbert and me. Really, it was a great dinner we had. I don't. Let's see here. Justin Herbert. Let's see here. Okay. That's one thing I do have confidence in. I think the league, there's only a few that have the drive and desire and the instinct like Hurts. He holds himself to a high standard. Okay, let me see here. I see people saying, calling me out, as they say. So let me go down here. See if I can bring up my Justin Herbert. I got, which one? You want 4 of them or 5 of them? We went to a dinner together. It's pretty great. I forget what we ate that night. I think I had lobster and I think he had steak that night. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let me find this. By the way, once again, I do think one of the more important things is that, again, your run game showed up. You should be very thrilled that your run game showed up. And that's a positive for you in your run game. In your run game showing up. Big old nice picture of Big Sills and Justin Herbert. How you doing? Great dinner that night. Got about 4 more of them, too. He's really a great dude. Great dude. Let's see here. Let's see. Hey, you know what? It's all good. We're going to move on to another topic here. I just got to do that again. I think it's quite enlightening getting mad at me for somebody posting shit about your team's performance today. It's quite remarkable. I mean, you can't get around it. Herbert was actually asked about Sills a few weeks ago. When asked, Herbert replied, "Who? I got about, dude. Mario Cristobal introduced me to him when he played for him. Hey, end of the day, who gives a shit what you think? It's all good. This year should tell us if Hurts will stay or we need to go in another direction at quarterback. Think Howie and Laurie are good with and want clarity to see how Hurts does this year with the system." Absolutely true. Absolutely. 1,000%. Hey, one thing for sure, I got to get to what Vic said. No. I'll tell you this. You can never, ever not love Vic Fangio.